Nola in the house. Hello, peace and blessings out there. Chata Nation, all the other nations out there, all the other tribes. This is Peanut Nola 504. I'm here on a beautiful Sunday. Beautiful Sunday. Yesterday I got on. I was able to come on. I was on the phone with I'm in on a chat with Chata, and that was a great build that we had, and it was awesome. And this is day two of open panel. And Lola. Um, like I said, I'm just honored to be able to come on to this platform and talk about Aborigine people, talking about our people, uplifting spirits of others. Okay, so for those who want to come on, I have an open panel today, and all glory goes to the Most High. Day two of my chat. Um, I like to say that many times we, as a nation of people, I think that we ignore what's going on in other people's lives because it may not affect you. Okay, it may not affect you. Some things may not affect you, but when experiences hit your life, then you tend to want people to care. Okay, and that's in general, for those who lives are out there that are going through the coronavirus. I'm definitely praying for you out there. If you have a family member who has, and if that's suffering and going through, this sickness, this problem out there, I pray for that family. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know. Just because it hasn't hit your family, it doesn't matter. As long as you know. Peace to the chat, Black Queen in the house. And we just have to have some sympathy and for other people. Okay, for other people. And I'm trying to build today, and one of the stories about Aborigine, something I didn't get a chance to finish off yesterday, is we have listened to our oppressor so long. We have believed the things that they have taught us. We have believed everything that goes on in school. We believed in everything that our oppressor has taught. He has taught us his history. And I want you to understand that. We went to school learning the history of the European, not the history of the Aborigine people, okay? And not the history of other melanated people. We only learned history of our oppressor, okay? So a lot of people, they don't understand that we were taking our from our roots. We were taken from everything, our language, our true language. We were taken, everything was taken from us. We were taught to learn the way, the religion of the European oppressor. And that's what you have to understand, that everything that you know comes from your oppressor and the teachings of your oppressor. And I want you to understand, why would your oppressor love you more than you love yourself? And these are the things that we have to understand as Aboriginal people. Why would your oppressor love you more than you love yourself? And some people say, well, man, you can't get over 400 years. We're never going to get over 400 years of captivity. I mean, it may be abolished, but we will never get our minds off of the fact that we've been enslaved in the mind. We're not just talking about physical slavery. We're talking about mental slavery. We're talking about slaves in the mind, the way we treat our brothers and sisters, the way we have hatred towards our brothers and sisters. And we don't understand these things. We got to build with love. It starts with us first. We can't help other nations because we are so I would like to say we've been haunted for so many years. We got problems in our own nation that we have not fixed. Yet we're trying to help everybody else. When I think about China, China is treating our cousins, the Africans, they're treating them like pure bullshit. Okay, they're treating them like they're nothing. Melanated people are treating the Chinese are actually flipping the script, and they are now blaming melanated people for the coronavirus. Now you get that? Do you understand the things how they have treated us based on our skin color? And this is another reason why I tell you we have to stop supporting people businesses. We have to stop supporting these people businesses and start basically learning how to build our own businesses, supporting our own black women. You have the gifts. We are, you can have your own beauty salon store. You can get your own nail shops. And some of these black women can go into these stores, and the first thing that they do, they racial profile you, and they're always assuming that you're stealing. I see one video where they were kicking a sister out of the store, and come to be, the lady did not steal anything. She didn't steal anything. And then the man, he was literally trying to kick her, trying to put his foot on her. This Chinese man tried to kick her. This Chinese man tried to fight her. And the women had to jump this man. These people never, ever loved you. They only using you for their money. Why do you think that you see most Chinese businesses in black communities? Most Chinese businesses are in poor black communities. And that's the same thing with Arabs. You won't see them in European communities. You won't see them in Caucasian communities. We always accepting these people, and these people don't accept us. You notice when Africans come to America, they are treated better than indigenous people that are already here. They are treated better than indigenous people that are already here. Africans look down on so-called African Americans. You think that Africa loved you when they don't even know who you are. Okay? They don't know you, and you think that they love you. And you hear the masses, the people tell you to go back where you come from, where you don't even know anything about. But you do know about Turtle Island. You do know about America that was built for you when William Penn first came to the Americans. And when he came with Christopher Columbus, and he said the complexion of the native that he seen were black people that looked like gypsies. It's all in history that we have always been in America. And I like to say that it's biblically that we have always been here. We're a scattered nation. We are the people of the Bible. I went to Jamaica last year, and China owns a lot of shops over there. Yes, every black nation, they tend to migrate over and take over. This is what you don't understand. That's like when you see the natives, the so-called natives that you see here, you see in cowboy movies. We see these things in cowboy movies. We see the Indians, the $5 Indians. We think that these people to be Indians. But when you really do your history and you will understand that these are the same people that are called Mongoloids. These people traveled here after us. Okay, this is and that's facts. A lot of people don't know this, that a lot of the natives that they call natives are descendants of Asian. And Asian people, everywhere they go, they migrate and they take over. And like I said, we don't understand these things because we have not been taught the right way in school. School does not show you the truths that's out there, okay? Because we're learning under our oppressor. And these are the things that we have to understand, that school is not going to tell you the true things about you. I tell people, you heard of the Titanic, you heard of Confederate history, but where is the slave ships? And don't tell me about no cartoon imagery. And you have to understand that yes, they had a history of slaves that came here. Yes, 5%. But the way they make it to believe that 300 slaves came here and six of our oppressors, six white men, were held them in captivity. You have to understand that that does not make sense. You have to understand these things. And I tell people, we are so vulnerable out here. We are so vulnerable because we do not read. We don't read. We don't try to discover. We just we leave well enough alone. We are a people to leave well enough alone. Well, they say I'm African. Well, I guess I'm African. And it's the truth. We just a satisfied nation of people and wondering why every nation hate us, why every nation put their nose in the air towards us. Lack of love for ourselves, how we tear down our brothers and sisters, how we always trying to we can't begin to look at others without looking at ourselves. We cannot begin to talk about what the white man is doing us when we're doing worse to ourselves. The white man is not out there killing us. We're killing ourselves. The envy that we have for ourselves. We have so many envy towards our brothers and sisters. Rather us congratulate and learn how to be successful like our brothers and sisters, we turn on our brothers and sisters because we have lack of love for ourselves. We envy success of our brothers and sisters. Otherwise, we would have our own businesses. There's not a reason why Black people cannot thrive. Our ancestors had Black Wall Street. Our ancestors, we were powerful people, and our ancestors showed us the way. But we ignore history. We don't read what's good. We have been for so long, we have been told that we are slaves. We begin to believe that we're slaves. Even to this day, for so long, we believe that because somebody told you you were a slave, we still believe that we are slaves. And that is mentally supremacy. And that's what you have to understand. When you begin to believe something, if somebody tell you you stupid long enough, you're going to believe that you're stupid. If somebody tells you you ugly long enough, you're going to believe that you're ugly. And these are the things that we have to understand as a nation of people, that you can't love anyone without loving yourself. We can't build. We quick to abandon our families. You can't, when you look at Asian people, they'll have 12 people in the house. When they come to America, they have 12 of their people in the house. Mexican people, they have 35 of them in one house. White people, the same thing. And these are the things that we don't understand. Hello, sister. And these are the things that we don't understand. And this is a part of the captivity that has been going on for a long time. Lack of love for ourselves, hatred for ourselves. And until we realize that, we can never pick ourselves up from our, pick ourselves up and realize how great we are. And you have to love you. But when you don't love you, you tend to believe that you're not loved. And you begin to live a life of, women, our women in general have low self-esteem about themselves because they have lack of love for themselves, because they've been told that that men are, I like to say, look at the outside of the flesh instead of the peace at heart of the person. And that's the things we have to understand. We can't be better without each other. We can't build without each other. We have to encourage each other. The brothers, sisters have to encourage the brothers. Not all men are dogs. Sisters have to uplift their brothers just as well as the brothers have to uplift the sisters. I tell you guys that a lot of people don't understand the beginning of history, realizing where did we come from. When I talk about Turtle Island, and I talk about the fact that we did we were the first to come to Turtle Island, and our history is greater than just Turtle Island. Our history is greater than just Turtle Island. You wonder why they hate you so much, why people despise you so much. Even the scripture, and let me tell you something, I am not religious, I'm spiritual. Even the scripture talks about your captivity. Even the scripture talks about the pain and the suffering that you will go through being under your oppressor. And this is facts. Even Deuteronomy chapter 28 speaks of our captivity. And the things that we have done as a nation of people, not understanding that they are imposters that are called Jews. They are called Jews, but they're not the real Jews. You name me one Jew, and I'm not talking about no Holocaust. You name me one poor Jew. Name me one poor Jew. See, Hebrews were the, and that's what you don't understand. Hebrews were suffering people. They were suffering people that went through a lot of pain and suffering because they were God's people. So we've been through suffering. We're the only people that can get stumped on. And our enemy dislikes us and we forgive our enemies. We're the only nation of people that does that. We are a forgiving nation of people because spiritually, we are God's chosen people. We were born to forgive. We were born to forgive. It's not in our nature to be savages. And I want you to understand that. We have been through so many sufferings, spitted upon, couldn't even get on a bus, treated like scum. But there's reasons to that. I have an open panel today. I left the link. If you scroll up, for those who would like to come on, I want to build. Come on and build with me. Come on and build. Um, Exclusive. Come on and build with me. So you can explain some of these things. I have the link. So if you press the link, we can build and we can talk about these things because I think what a lot of people don't understand. And this sister here, she's a Caucasian, but she's also Indian. Okay, she's also Indian, and she would like to explain to you about these things because this is what I talk about building. We will have to be intelligent in what we talk about. Okay, we have to be intelligent on what we talk about. This is not racism. This is not racism when you speak facts. You wonder why you've been spitted upon. You wonder why you've been treated the way you've been treated. Because it's been written this way. It's been written for you to suffer, to overcome suffering, because you are the Most High chosen people. See, the Most High said you will be scattered across the corners of the earth. You will be scattered. See, Africa and America used to be connected at one time. Peace and blessings. Africa and America used to be connected. We're gonna get this in a link. Put the link back up. We're gonna get. We got an open panel. I would love for you guys to come on. I just put the link back up. Give me 1 second. I'm putting the link back up, and we are building today on this beautiful Sunday. And exclusive. I would love for you to come on. There we go. Let's see if we can get exclusive. Okay. Did you get the link in? In the 1 second, we trying to get the link back up. Exclusive, could you come back on? Or we exclusive, could you come back on? And this is what we have to understand. And some people who are not intelligent, those who speak with non-intelligent, don't understand what suffering is. For you to overcome, for you to get in the end, how you doing, Reignstorm? How you doing today? All right, peace and blessings. Randy Vaughn is in the house. How you doing today? Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings, family. Peace and blessings. We got we are open panel today, and I would love to, we're talking about suffering in the nation. I would like to introduce you to the Beam team. From the Beam team, how you doing?
Peace, peace. How you doing? How you doing, Peanut? How you doing, Peanut's family? How's everybody doing on this good Sunday?
Oh yeah, we're talking about building, and now we're here. We are here at this moment, and I want you to explain to the people about about how the indigenous people are linked to the Bible, how they are
Okay.
linked to Israel.
Wow, it's so deep. Well, first off, I just want to
We're waiting.
say, can you hear me? Okay, am I coming in?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay. Okay. Good. Good. Good.
You're
All
coming
right.
in
Well.
just fine.
Okay. Well, first off, I just want to give a little background to your family and everybody in the chat. Um, my background, my great grandmother, which was my father's grandmother, was in the Trail of Tears. She was full Cherokee, and my grandfather grew up in the Oklahoma reservation. He actually just passed away about 2 years ago at 99. You know, he lived a really long life, and he was just a beautiful soul. And the rest of the majority of the rest of my family is Irish. So my grandfather's father, he was full Irish. He worked on the train tracks in Oklahoma, and they didn't even speak the same language. But they had fell in love with each other, and she actually had passed away from pneumonia when my grandfather was about 6 years old. So unfortunately, he didn't really, he has some memories of her, but he didn't really get to, grow up with her. But he really, really always held that side of him, with so much pride, and taught me so much about it. So, even though I would be considered maybe only an eighth, I think, Cherokee, it's still something that I try to keep very close to me, because it's still in my roots, but the majority of what I am would be, considered European, Irish.
Correct.
But as far as going back to your question, about how the indigenous people,
And
excuse
before you say that,
me, sorry.
I want the audience to understand. I don't want to cut you off, but before you do that, I want to explain to the audience that this is coming from a Caucasian person, okay, a person that does not mind, who speaks the truth and is not biased about anything. She speaks the truth. She's going to tell you what you're doing. So you go back and explain what you're saying.
Absolutely. And going off of that, I feel like it's my duty, as a Caucasian woman who knows the truth. It's my duty to get the truth out there to people, because the majority of my race of people either are ignorant to this or don't want to know the truth or have no idea. They're just going off of, like we were talking about before, his story, which you would call history, what they learned in school, but really it would be considered the fake Jews story, his story, and this is what, the majority
Yes,
of, especially my race of people know. And I feel like, the knowledge that I know I need, it's my duty, with the privilege that I have, it's my duty to get that out there, so anytime I can speak on it and build, I love to. That's one of my biggest things, and that's the type of people that I'm drawn to. I always try to get the truth out there to people, especially now at this time that we're living in, because I feel like we're living in an age at this point where, the truth is finally coming out. The truth is finally being exposed, what they've been trying to hide for so long. It's finally coming to the light. And it's a
that's
great
correct.
time to be living in. It really is. These 400 years, I believe, are up now or about to be up very, very soon. Do you know what I'm speaking on?
Yes, yes.
Um,
The 400 years is abolished. The 400 years is definitely abolished.
Yes. And so with that being said, like, I don't know if y'all remember when Kanye West had made that statement about, the 400 years and stuff, and everybody was like, if they excuse me, my son's in the background going crazy. So excuse me about that. But
That's okay.
Kanye West had made that statement last year or sometime about the 400 years, and everybody was like, "Oh, he's so crazy for that, blah blah blah." But what I had kind of took from that, now I could be wrong, but what I had kind of took from that was him saying that we are these 400 years, we're still like, this curse is still like, we're still in, it's not like you said, it's coming to an end now, but we have this curse has been, we're at the time right now, right at this moment where it's ending, and the truth is coming out. And it's just so important for, anybody that has this knowledge, like what you're doing, like salute to you. Anybody that has this knowledge, we have to keep spreading this as much as possible, especially somebody like me, like that is a white woman that knows this truth. Because, it's like, some people, will think, don't want to, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, but I feel like if more people that look like them would come out and speak the truth, then maybe they might listen, or maybe they might, you know what I'm saying, do their own research. You know what I'm trying to say? Because this
I
information
think
is
what's going
very, very
on
important.
is people are afraid. People is afraid
Absolutely.
to come out and talk about the truth, because you see in most churches, when you see what's going on in church, and if you are a so-called African American indigenous person, whoever you are, and you go into these churches, and you in mostly Catholic churches, you see angels on the wall, and you don't see a melanated person on the wall that makes you feel as a melanated person. Are you going to have a place in heaven? And I think that's what goes on with these religious people. They have been brainwashing a lot of people, like black people, to make them believe that they have no service to God.
Absolutely. And it's such a shame, because that's exactly what they do. My mother's side of the family, my mother is not a Catholic, but her side, she was raised like as a strict Catholic, very, very strict Catholic. And things actually happened to her. She came from a big family, 6 brothers and sisters, and the family is pretty much split in half now. where my uncles are very, very, very Catholic in the church. And then my mother, my aunt is actually an atheist who is completely does not even believe in any type of higher power, you know, speaks on very vocal about speaking on the hypocrisy in church and blah, blah, blah. And then my mom is kind of the one in the middle where she knows about all the bullshit in the Catholic Church and she knows about all the bullshit in church, but she still believes in a higher power and she's not an atheist, so to speak. So the way that I was raised was very like for me, I never was like brainwashed or I never was forced into, you know, coming up with my own, you know, like my parents wanted me to come up with my own beliefs and my own faith. And I really do thank them for that because that's how I was able to find the Most High, you know. And like I was telling you, I had to do a full circle, you know. And I know I'm kind of getting off topic with your question, so let me take it back a little bit because I can just keep going and going, and I want to stay on, you know, stay on topic. Um, but
That's
let's.
good.
What would you like for me to speak on more
Okay,
at
well,
this?
we're gonna start with yeah, I want to start with which when you learned that the Bible was stating that black people that has been or put in captivity and slavery were the chosen people. Where did you learn that from?
That's a perfect question. Perfect. That's a great way to start. Um, okay, so I would say I was about I just turned 30 years old now. I would say I was probably about 17, I want to say, when I first learned that. Um, and how that came to be was I'm the type of person, I've always been like a truth seeker. I've always been kind of like a rebellious spirit and always, and not in a negative way rebellious, but just, you know, I'm not gonna, if somebody just tells me something, I'm gonna go and do my own research and you know what I'm saying, come form my own opinion first before I just go off of what somebody's telling me. You know what I'm saying? And so that's how it began. You know, I just started just doing my own research. That's all I would do 24/7 is just, you know, researching, reading books. YouTube had first started coming out back then. YouTube was just starting to get, you know, come out. And this is before they were censoring a lot of things. You remember that time on YouTube?
Yes, yes,
So like at that point, you
yes,
know,
I do.
at that point, I mean, that's all I was just, you know, a lot of teenagers they doing this, doing that. I was a nerd. I was the one, you know, just I had my notebooks and you know what I'm saying? When I wasn't doing schoolwork, I was just reading books on YouTube, taking notes, and just kind of it started off kind of going down a rabbit hole. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I wanted to find out about quantum physics and I was learning about, you know, Egypt and Egyptology and this and that. And like I said, I've always been very open. Like I'm not the type to be like, you know, and which I think a lot of white people are scared to even learn this type of knowledge because they are afraid of the truth. You know what I mean? And for me, I never was afraid of the truth. I always knew, you know what I'm saying, how fucked up, you know, the Europeans were and the shit and what they did. So for me, I was never afraid or, you know, to find out the real truth. And I knew that what I was learning in school wasn't right, like Christopher Columbus and these types of things. Even as a child, I would question those things in school. But I never really knew how deep it really got until I would say like about 17, 18, just really getting on YouTube and watching, you know, these different types of videos where they would really speak on the fake Jews and the Zionists. That's where it really all started was the Zionists and the cabal and you know things of that nature and learning all about the satanic things that they do. Like this is like, you know, when I first found out about what the Illuminati was, and a lot of people were cracking jokes about it and making fun of people like me and saying, oh, you're just a conspiracy theorist and that stuff's not true. But I didn't care. I didn't let that sway me. You know what I mean? And I still spoke the truth to anybody that knew me any of my friends, anybody that I was cool with, I spoke my truth. I spoke what I, believed. And if you didn't believe me, I didn't care. You could judge me, you could think whatever you wanted of me, but I wasn't afraid to speak the truth and speak how I felt. So that was probably the time when I first really started finding out about who the real Hebrew Israelites were. When I started getting into finding out about the Illuminati and finding out about, you know what I'm saying, just the elites and things of that nature.
I think what's going on, people, and I stated, and me being from Louisiana, I'm born and raised from New Orleans, Louisiana. I live in Mississippi as I speak right now.
Yeah.
Me being from the South, and actually, I did not even know, and don't laugh at me, y'all, because I didn't know about true racism until I moved out of Louisiana, until I moved out of New Orleans, because New Orleans was a predominant black city. Okay, so I didn't know
Absolutely.
it. I didn't know too the white people that I knew in Louisiana, in New Orleans, there was not racist. As at least I know to my face,
Right.
we didn't see the racism that other people see across the nation. But it wasn't until I moved into Mississippi and some parts now where I live in Bay St. Louis it's really great where I live in Bay St. Louis. The people, the white people, the black people, they get along just fine. But when I started to become a truck driver and I started going through parts of Mississippi, I could not believe. I
Oh
couldn't
yeah.
believe how racism was, and I could not believe that people were like this in this day and time. That people still fighting for that flag, fighting
It is.
for fighting to keep uh, yeah, they fighting to keep something that they lost.
It
And
is.
like I said, and there are white people that are against these people. Okay, so that's why I said I'm not against all white people. There's a sector of white people that man, they can come to the cookout. There's another sector that hate us no matter what, no matter what we do. We cannot show approval to them. They will not approve anything that we do. Okay, they just there's nothing we can do to be right other than kill ourselves. And that's and I want to let people to know that you have been building with so many melanated people. You have been building, and I'm glad so the generation can see your
Absolutely.
example, and you are a person who have two of your kids are melanated people. I want
Absolutely.
that if that was okay for me to say.
Absolutely. Yes.
And I wanted people to understand that you go through more probably than the regular people because of the fact that you have two melanated children. You're
Well,
probably going to get more ridicule against you.
Well, I will say this, Peanut, and going off of what you were just saying, coming from New Orleans and then coming to Mississippi, I went through a very similar thing myself because where I live also in Mississippi, as you know, and where I'm originally from is the DMV area, Northern Virginia, right outside of Washington, D.C. And anybody that knows about that area, I know you said you're a truck driver, so you probably are familiar with that area, and anybody in the chat, if you're from there, it is a very, very, very diverse area. Very diverse. You know what I'm saying?
That's
It
right. That's
you
right.
don't see like what like it was a complete culture shock coming from where I'm from to Mississippi. And I will say when I grew up until the age of the middle of sixth grade. So when I was born all the way up until sixth grade, I came from the hood, like as in, we were the only white family in my whole not just the neighborhood. We lived in cul-de-sacs,
SL
like
Davis in the house.
yeah, like townhouses. Like we didn't even have like both of my parents played basketball. Well, they did, they're older now, but and I played basketball too. But like
That's correct.
we didn't even have like our basketball court was always shut down because of the drug dealing. So what my mom did is she went and got a basketball hoop, like one of them big, real basketball hoops, whatever, and put it in our backyard. And she would have, and this back when Michael Jordan was playing, back in the early 90s, everybody used to call her Air Betty because, and my parents are like, and that's why I came up the way that I came up, is also because of my parents and how they are and how so non-judgmental, so open, like both my parents have many Black friends, and they're just very open people. They've never ever spoke any type of racism, hatred, anything like that. So I just never came from that. And so anyway, so like I said, I grew up in the hood. I was the only white kid in all my classes, and
Yeah,
it was cool though. Like I didn't really have to go through, because I was kind of a tomboy when I was a kid. So I played basketball, I played sports, and everybody just kind of respected me and my family because they were all cool, and they all, just like looked out for everybody in the hood. So it was cool, and I'm really glad that I
that's
went
right.
through that, because, it made me who I am today. And then, so from that point, we moved to a different area, a nicer area in that city. And I went to more of a mixed school where it was definitely very mixed, but it wasn't just like all Black. It was white, Black, Hispanic, like everything. But what ended up happening was I was in like the advanced classes, and from the school I had already came from, we were kind of behind. So, I had to kind of catch up. And not just that, but I had to deal with, and even up there, I will say that, the kids, the white children that came from the privileged areas definitely looked down on me and the way I dressed. I would come to school wearing Jordans, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I just had my own little style, but they definitely looked down on me. And that was my
The
first time.
Mac in the house.
Yeah, that was my first time actually. Like, it was just kind of like weird for me because everybody kind of accepted me, you know what I mean, where I was from. And then being white, but not being accepted by my own white counterparts, in school at that point, that was a weird, and that was in middle school. So it was definitely like an adjustment, but I was able to adjust. And, high school came around, and, I just was able to kind of mingle and mix with all different types of crowds, you know what I'm saying? And, it worked out for my benefit in the end, being around everything. But getting back to what we were talking about, I went to the military, got out of the military, and then moved down south. And originally I moved to Texas, and I didn't really I lived in San Antonio for maybe like 6 months to a year. So I didn't really see as much of the, racism in that part of San Antonio. I mean, in San Antonio, not to say that it's not racism in Texas, because it definitely is. But I was in more of like a predominantly Hispanic and Black area. So I didn't really see it there. But when I moved to Mississippi, and I've been in Mississippi now for about 5 years, and I cannot wait to get the hell out. And I will be soon. It's just a process for me.
That's right. That's right.
I had to, I'm doing pretty good out here. And, I'm just trying to get my stuff together so I can, go ahead and move back to Virginia or just anywhere pretty much, because the biggest problem that I have with Mississippi is the racism, the politicians, the police, just everything. It's horrible out here, man. And I've gotten into it with so many people because of the fact that I'm the type of person, and I'm trying to work on it, but like when I'll be in the car or riding around, and these like rednecks, they don't give a fuck. Like, excuse my language, they don't care. If they see me, with my child's father, or they see me with my kids, they will stare me down. They will give me like the dirtiest looks. You know what I'm saying? So I'll put my window down and cuss them right back out. Like, what the, you know what I'm saying? Like, go off on them. And it really hurts me. And, there was a time when I was working, when I first, came out here, I was working at the Waffle House. I was working graveyard shift, and I was working in an area that was predominantly white, just redneck, real redneck area. So these people had no idea that I had mixed children, you know what I'm saying? And when you're working graveyard, they come in, they just like to talk their shit. They're like the regulars, whatever, so and like I said, I'm not judgmental towards anybody. You can be, it's not like all white people from Mississippi, I don't consider them all rednecks, because you got your people that, they might listen to country music or whatever, but they're not racist people. So it's like, I'm not a judgmental person, you know what I mean? I'm not just going to be like, oh, off the break. I have to see or witness something first to know what you're about. So, they had no idea that I had mixed children, just by, talking to me and blah blah blah. But then one night, the N word came out of somebody's mouth. So as soon as I heard that word, I lost my job that night, because I just went the hell off. You know what I'm saying? I said, and I got into it, and the guy,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
And because this is how it is. They think, because they're not going to say, it's not going to come out, if there's a black person around, because they're too scary. You know what I'm saying? But they think, if they're around just white people, that they're cool to say it or something like that. It doesn't. For me, if I hear that word,
But let me address this to you. Let me address what you said, sis. Let me address this to you. I get, we as melanated people get upset when we see white people do it. And this
that's
is
right.
one of the things that I get very upset with. You can't get mad when white people do it because you feel entitled to do it. It's wrong. It's wrong. So at the end of the day, we got to start start equipping ourselves to stop calling ourselves the N-word. We got to be better with our own selves. And that's the same thing, I get offended with the redskin, the word redskin. That's
Right.
another,
Right.
to indigenous people.
Exactly.
But what we have to understand is, if we don't want a people talking about it, but we can do it, and it's just ridiculous. At the end of the day, the word shouldn't be used by no one.
Well,
Nobody's entitled to use the word.
and you know how I feel about it? I feel like all I can speak on is my race of people. You know what I mean? I don't think I have a right to say what another black person can say to another black person, because I didn't come from that. So I
That's
don't
right.
really, you know what I'm saying? So all
That's
I
right.
can really speak on is my race of people using that word. And I know, for one, I will never use that word. And I listen to rap music, I listen to hip hop,
Max in the
all that
house.
stuff. But you will never catch me saying that word. You can ask any man that I've ever been with, my child's father, any of my best friends. You can ask anybody, no matter how mad I get, no matter how drunk, whatever the case may be. You will never hear me say that word. Ever, period. And all I can speak on, and I actually do, like I said, I come from the hood, the only white person, whatever. But it doesn't matter. Like, that really pisses me off. Like, when I see like these white people that, like a lot of them, I think, are in California, like certain areas where it's very diverse, and they speak that word like amongst with other black people or with whoever. And I just think that they need to be checked on that, and they need the ass kicked. They need the ass whipped for it one good time, and they'll probably learn. It doesn't matter
I need
what
y'all
you.
to put them and put. I like that. Put them arrows. Put them arrows in the chat. Put them arrows in the chat. I love that. For those who in the chat, put them arrows up. Let me see them arrows up.
Yes.
Let me see the arrows up. And I want to tell you that please put the arrows up. I love that. I love that. Thank you so much. Put the
Yes.
arrows up. Much respect, peace, and blessings. And for those who come in to listen to my guests, and I want you to know that this is a open panel. So for those who want to come in and join in with our conversation, we have the link. The link is there for you to come on in. I am enjoying. This is a beautiful Sunday, and we are
Absolutely.
building today. Go ahead.
Yes, yes. Yes, and that's just basically how I feel about that. Like, if I hear, and it's easier probably for me to hear it than a black person, because like I said, living in this area, if they don't see me walking around with, my kid's father or my kids, you know what I'm saying? They might not know, like my background and how I feel about certain things. So it might be easier for that word to come out, like I said, in my work environment when I was working at Waffle House. But I lost my job that night. You know what I'm saying? Just going, and the man that said it, he had no idea. And he's all
Right.
being apologetic. Oh, I'm so sorry. It doesn't matter, because you've already exposed yourself at that point. So once you've exposed yourself, there's no going back saying I'm sorry and period. I already know what side you're on, and I don't, you know what I'm saying? You can't go back from that to me, you know. But that's the difference. In this area, a lot of these people, like, and I'm sure you know because you're in Mississippi, the Confederate flag. That's the biggest thing that gets me, is how open they are and just how
Oh, it gets on my nerves.
big.
It gets on my nerves when I go to my kids' school and I see it all the time when I go to their school, and it gets on my nerves every time. And these are the things, it saddens me. It saddens me that
Or
you still have a state
I
that
had no
still
idea. I had no
have that
idea.
up
I
after
just
all
thought,
these years.
yeah, I just thought, that's, oh, maybe they're just exact. Before I came out here, I just, because of where I'm from, and that could also be part of my, white ignorance and my white privilege, not being black, so not being from where I'm from, and it being so diverse, and people not really, caring about interracial, relationships, or caring about, if they see you with a mixed child, whatever, like, people don't, you see it everywhere you go. So and me not being black, I never really experienced like racism. So I knew how strong it was, but I just didn't know really how open and how bad it was until I came out here. And it's just, I feel like I'm here for a reason though. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like God put me here for a reason. And I feel like while I'm out here, I'm going to do everything like I've been doing to speak the truth, to fight this racism. You know what I'm saying? Like any type of situation that my predicament might happen or has happened or will happen, I feel like it's my duty to stand up for what's right. And that's what I do. And that's what I will always do, you know? So, but
I don't know if you got a chance to see. I don't know if you got a chance to see what happened. That happened in a salon. And I got a chance to see the video with World was showing this video. And then I was how they be treating black people in salons, and I kind of, what aggravates me with our sisters, the black sisters, is the fact that you can own beauty salons. You can own the
definitely,
same people that are selling you the hair, the same people that are selling you that hair and want to do your nails. You can do the same. And I
exactly.
saw
Yeah,
this
most
man. I
definitely.
think
And do it
this man
better.
was
And do
fighting
it better.
this woman.
Right. Yeah. And that's what
Yes, and
me
do it better because you know
hurt.
what you want. And the thing is I don't understand. People talk about white people, but they don't talk about them Asian. Asian people
Yeah,
are some of the racist people I have
absolutely.
ever known, and
I
they
agree
make a
with
lot of money off
you.
of melanated people. They make a lot of money.
A lot of money, and that's who they geared towards. Like, I don't, I mean, I'm
Now
sure
back to you.
this, like out here in Mississippi, all the hoods out here, when you go, we call them mamas, or we call them either mamas or what's the other one, I forgot the name, but all the convenience stores, all of them are ran by like the Asians, the Vietnamese, the Chinese, whatever, all of them around here. Occasionally you might see like a what's it called, the Middle Easterns, but for the most part it's all Asians, and they're only in the hood spots. Like when you go to the areas that are white, the all those gas stations and convenience stores, they're all white people that run it, but in the hood spots they're all Asian.
It's
They're
ridiculous.
all Asian. And
It's
when you go to
ridiculous.
the nail salon, like they got this nail salon, right? Of course, right now it's closed, but there's a nail salon down the street from me, and it's all Asian. And the Asians, they actually are kind of cool. Like the one nail salon. Now a bunch of them I don't fuck with, but there's one nail salon. The Asians in there, they be playing rap music. Like they're
Hello?
kind of cool. They're younger
Yeah.
though. Like they're a younger generation, but but most of them though, I definitely agree with you. Like it's a lot of racism in the Asian community, and they're like the first ones screaming out about with this COVID-19. Like, they're screaming racism. Don't call it the Chinese virus, blah blah blah. Which is, I can understand, but y'all
They're
didn't.
being victimized now. They want to be victims. They want to
Where
be
were y'all
victims
at?
now. They want to be
Right.
victims, and now and when we were getting our tail beat, when we were getting whipped and everything, they wasn't standing up for us, and now they want us to be on their side
Exactly.
because their business is getting hit. The Chinese foods, Chinese places, the way you go eat Chinese food, nobody's going there, so they're
Right.
suffering. They're suffering now.
And it's the
They're
same thing.
suffering, and
It's,
now they want us to show compassion for them.
yes, but where was the compassion at when all the other, like, what was the virus that was in going around in Africa a couple years back? Can't think of what the name was, but um
Um, Ebola, Ebola,
they were calling that the
was it
I think
Ebola?
that's what the one, and they were saying calling that the African virus, or it was something like that. I didn't see any Asian people standing up saying, that's not right. Why would you say that? It's not Africans, only Africans getting this virus. Everybody's getting it. Let's not be ignorant. Let's not be stupid here. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
correct.
It's to me, it's not right either way around. You should never just take, a specific country, race, ethnicity, whatever, and just put it on like with a virus, as in only that group of people can get it, because we're all human. We all can catch this virus. Now there might be certain people's blood types or certain ethnicities that might have a stronger immune system or a stronger way of fighting it, or may not be as immune, or it might be the opposite. There might be some groups or races of people that are more susceptible to certain things. But at the end of the day, no, God did not make any virus specific just for one race of people. You know what I'm saying? So it's not right either way around, in my opinion.
No,
You know what I'm saying? To do that. But at the end of the day, this whole victimizing crap, it needs to stop, because the fake Jews, they did the exact same thing where they wanted to, victimize themselves. And oh, you're speak anti, what is it,
they want us to feel compassion for the Holocaust. They want us to
exactly.
feel
And
compassion for the Holocaust, the world's greatest, biggest Holocaust that happened to African, so-called African Americans. Nobody wants to talk about. Nobody
exactly,
wants to talk about all the pain and suffering to indigenous people, all the
exactly,
murderers, all the Indians that were murdered.
exactly, coming and get all the
But they
like
want to talk about
speaking
the
on,
Holocaust.
exactly, and speaking on like virus, I want
Hitler
to just
fried his
talk
own
about.
people.
Yes, exactly. And when all the white settlers came over and brought all these diseases, to all the indigenous people that were over there, that never even had been exposed to these types of diseases, so they could not fight it off. And that's how my great grandmother died. That's the exact way she died, was from that. And guess what it was? Pneumonia. You know what I'm saying? Which makes me even think about, with this COVID
Wow.
19, like she wasn't used to, her tribe, like they were from Virginia, they were North Carolina, Virginia, like on that side of the country. And because of the Trail of Tears, they were all
Thank you, Rain. We'll see
they
you.
were all forced to all the way, and with camels all the way across the country in the Trail of Tears, to the Oklahoma area. And what during that time, they were
Right.
brought all types of diseases. They, like, I know you heard where they put it on the blankets, acting like they were helping these Native Americans, but really these blankets had viruses, had diseases that they had put all over them, just because they knew, like, they wanted to wipe out the whole population. You know what I'm saying? And it's just horrible. It's so sad and it's so horrible. But you know what I'm saying? You don't really hear too much about that. And then you got these fake Jews running around, always tell you, you can't say anything about a fake Jew. You can't say anything about a Jewish person. You are, like, in the media, nothing. You're automatically put as a anti, what is it, Semitist, or however you say the word. um I don't know if I'm saying it right, but
Anti-Semitic or something like
yeah,
that.
anti-Semitic. Yeah, and it's ridiculous to me
I'm
because
probably not saying but
I think
I
I
butcher
think you
words.
are saying it right, but I don't know if you heard about this. But me being from the DMV area, there's a man. His name is Trayvon. I can't remember his last name, but he is.
Trayvon Martin.
No, 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 not Trayvon Martin. It's Trayvon something, but he's a very hot. He's a young guy, young cat. But he's very high up in DC. He works like in the see, I don't want to say the wrong thing, but he you know, he's in politics and he works, but he works like in the hood zones in DC. And he's like the, you know, the top official representative for those for certain areas in DC. And you know, with all this gentrification that's going on and, you know, stuff like that, he's the main dude on the front lines fighting to keep, you know, these youth centers like open in the hoods, and fighting to keep these apart, like Section 8 apartments that they're trying to tear down to put up, you know, all, you know, these big condos for white people and raise it. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to get all the hoods out of DC, which is what they've been doing for years now. But at this point, they've pretty much, it's horrible. But anyway, he had spoke out about a year ago about you know, he was doing like a little Facebook live video. And you know, and like I said, he's on CNN, he's on, yeah, he's on the news sometimes, like, you know, he's high up, you know, in the politics. But he's a young brother from the hood that worked his way up, you know, that represents the hoods in DC, you know, in the political area. So anyway, he had made a Facebook live one time, and it was snowing, and it was like March of like last year. It might have been May, I think. And it was still snowing. And anybody from that area knows, but by that time, you know, it's springtime, it's not, you know what I'm saying? It stopped snowing in February, January. So he had did a little video in his car, you know, showing
That's
the
right.
snow. And he was talking about you know, climate, you know, and then he started talking a little bit about Rockefeller. And he said a little bit too much for somebody of his power. And what basically he said was, and it was a pretty quick video, but he was talking about climate change. He was talking about the Rockefellers and how, and the gentrification, and how they're trying, you know, their whole plan and all the money, billions that they've invested in these big cities all around the coast of the country to basically get all the black people out and, you know, turn it, you know, and build them all up. And he spoke on the Rockefellers. Well, it went completely viral. They had him on every CNN, Fox News. I'm talking about for like a week straight, calling him an anti-Semitic. And you know, they just did a whole war. Like the fake Jews just went to war with him on
Really?
that, just because he brought up Rockefeller and climate change, and in one sentence, and gentrification in one sentence, pretty much. And they just had a field day with him. They tried to basically get him completely out of politics. You know, hit what's his name, Mayor Barry, or I'm probably saying his name wrong, but he used to be the I think the mayor in DC. That was like his you know, he was right under him, you know. And it's just a lot. But he still fought, you know. He's still in DC right now, like you know. And I'm gonna find the link, Peanut, and I'm gonna send it
That's
to you.
amazing.
Yeah, because I don't have, it's been a little while, and you know, I don't want to say the wrong thing. So I'm gonna find the link and I'm gonna send it to you, and maybe you can share it. I'm gonna send it to World too, because it's a really deep story. But they really tried to bash him, like all the Jews, like they went in and tried to play this anti-Semitic victim role, like to the core. It's like nobody with power can speak on them. And as soon as you do, you're completely blackballed, completely. And it's just fucked up, you know, like it really, really is.
Well, you do know that they own, since you do know that they own the banks, they own the media. So you have to understand the power of the Jews. The Jews run basically everything in America. They
Exactly.
run everything. And this is why and
Exactly.
I tell you, you never see a poor Jew. You never see a poor Jew.
No,
You might
and
see a
that's,
poor white man, a poor black man, you might see a poor everything. But you ain't gonna see
yes.
a poor Jew.
And isn't it crazy how it used to be like a, back in like the 70s, 80s, probably like even to the 50s, they used to have like a little kind of racist joke about the Jews. Like they would say, oh, the Jews are the poor ones, or the Jews are, you know, something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was something. And it was like and I just find it so ironic that that would even have been like some type of joke, Because how the hell, and now we understand, like when they teach you in school about the slums and what the ghetto originally, where the word comes from because of the Holocaust, and you have the Jews that lived in these slums, but it's like they turned that around and completely manipulated it into like teaching these kids in school that the Jews were the ones that were coming up in the hoods. And yeah, I'm sure you had your certain percentage in New York that did come out of the Holocaust, but if that was the case, the Jews wouldn't be where they're at now. If they were just at the bottom of the bottom and didn't have anything and blah blah blah, it's just such a manipulation, like what they teach you in school, about the Jews just not having anything, and the ghettos, but they don't talk about the real hoods and the real ghettos, like what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? And why it is so hard for
Now
Black people to.
I noticed that you've been following Nature Boy. You're a Beam Team member, so I know you've been following Nature Boy. But I want to
Right.
ask you a question. Why do people still call him Chief? And I want to know this because the flip flopping that he does, a lot of things that he do, and I noticed that we have a lot of people in the conscious community still calling him Chief. What makes him a chief? And I want to, in your opinion, and not to be biased or whatever.
Right.
And one of the things I want to understand is because I don't know a chief that allows some of the things that he does, and I just want to know what is the definition of chief
Right.
in your opinion, and why would you think of this man as a chief? And the attention that he gets it's amazing. Do you think people follow him because it's pure comedy? It's you know what I'm saying? It's more of an act, or it's more of a Showtime act, whatever. Because I just don't understand that. I have to get that to ask you that question.
That's an amazing question, and I want to answer both parts of that question. The first part of the question about why I believe he calls himself chief, what he should call himself is contradiction, because everything that that man does is a contradiction. He bites off of everything and tries to gain attention from every community so he can get and use his tricknology. That's what I like to call it, tricknology. Where you take a little bit of knowledge and a lot of a lie, or a lot of knowledge and a little bit of a lie. Either way, there's still a lie that goes in that. So everything becomes false when you throw that lie in there. So what he does, like when he calls himself chief, or when he calls himself the Messiah, or when he all of them, he goes from every religion, everything, and he wants to draw those people in, like from every different type of conscious community, religious community. He wants to get from every community, and it's all a contradiction. So that's why all I see from him is just a contradiction, and that's all I've seen from the beginning. From the first time I ever heard a video of him, I knew he's just a clout chaser. He's just looking for attention. He's a manipulator, brainwasher, everything that everyone speaks on him. And that goes into the second part of your question. For attention. That's all he's doing it for, is for attention. People tune in. I mean, I'm sure there's a small portion of people young, how they have to be young or just very, very naive, that may actually believe his pseudo bullshit. But for the most part, most people, I think, that tune in for the entertainment and the comedy of it, which is why me myself, I had to kind of I had to take myself out of it, because that's why I was tuning in for. I never was tuning in because I believed any of the bullshit he said. I've always disliked him and always, thought what he was doing was just horrible, for the melanated community, just and for the families, everything. But what I learned was, just like how, like with what World and a bunch of other channel holders say, it's like, why am I even going to sit here and keep giving him, my attention, like even speaking back.
Attention.
Yeah, like that's what he wants. You know what I mean? He wants all of that attention because he knows that the majority of the people that watch him don't even like him and don't, but he doesn't care. He is just, just like, like most of the entertainment people and how they speak, just so satanically. There's so much satanic things in entertainment, and people still tune in because for the entertainment and the attention of it. So sometimes you kind of just have to sit back, even though it may be really entertaining to watch or, to talk about. You think you're doing something positive by talking bad about it, but really all you're doing is just giving it more attention, giving it what he wants. You know what I mean? But I will still speak on it. Like if I see something just horrible, like especially when it comes to the children, that's my biggest thing. Like if something.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing is the children also. That's the whole thing. That's a bunch of grown people that that's not sports with a gun to be there, and they evidently they mentally challenged people with something, and you have to be really mentally challenged doing something like that in the first place. And so I think that's what's going on in over there. We have a lot of people who probably had bad things with their own family, so they're looking for family, they're looking for love in all the wrong places.
Right.
You have a lot of people, like a lot of these young kids are waiting to get away from their parents, and they look up to him because he's like a grandfather, to them, or a daddy to them. So
Exactly.
I just think that's what it is. And then once they get enough, then they'll realize when they get older. But it's sad. It's sad
It
because
is.
diseases are being spread there, and we ain't gonna give him too much attention. What we're gonna do,
Right.
we're gonna get back into to our discussion. But
Right.
like I said, I just had to throw that in because I do know that you follow, and we all have followed and watched and talked about this cat, and I think SL does a great job on that on her channel, talking about that.
I think.
And of course, world is the best news. He does a great job. So
And that's what I was gonna say. If it wasn't for, I like to take like Mac J. That's one of my Beam Team members, and he mentioned something the other day that really,
that Mac is the Mac.
yes,
Mac is the Mac.
that's right. And he said, like he likes to look at the glass half full, you know what I'm saying, instead of half empty. And by saying that, looking at the glass half full, I would never have even met like the people that I know now that I've formed really close relationships with, World, the Beam Team, it's like we're like a family now, and I would never even have met these people if it wasn't for, the bullshit that, Clubfoot has done, and the fact that these,
Yes, it actually brought us together. It brought everybody
exactly.
together. You're right.
Exactly. So,
It did.
I just try to look at the positive in it. But, to me, you can't hold on to it for too long. We've gone in on him enough. We've talked about it enough. Sometimes you just kind of got to move on. He's never going to change. He's going to keep doing what he's doing. And as long as, you know what I'm saying, them babies, that's the only thing that I worry about is the babies. And that's the only time you'll probably ever hear me from now on, speaking too
Shout
much
out
about
to
it.
Max. Shout out to Shay, Shay Carpenter. Thank you for coming in. I'm just giving a couple of shout outs. Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all. I want you guys to realize that this is an open panel. You can come on in. I
Yes,
have the link. For those who want to come in and talk to us, come on in. You know what I'm saying?
definitely.
Because we're about building. We're about building. Like I said, this bill today was from another perspective because I didn't realize that you were Caucasian because you had changed you changed your file. I mean your avatar. But I really appreciate this because of your honesty and everything. People got to hear this. People have
Most
to hear
definitely.
this because if you can accept, if you can explain to why people, from your perspective, it's beautiful because
Yeah,
then we can understand better. Because we ask ourselves all the time why people hate us, and we got to realize throughout history we have been hated, 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 and this is history for no
exactly.
apparent reason.
For
We
no
are we
reason.
have been. hated
For absolutely
for
no
no
reason. So
reason, not even knowing why, for just having. And then we have some, not all. We have some Caucasian people who adapt some of our traits. They wanna do some of the. They love our rapping, they love our style, but they hate us.
exactly,
They
cultural
you know what I'm saying?
appropriation.
So it's crazy. I
Cultural.
remember at one time, black women we used to have oversized behind, and they were being ridiculed because of oversized behind. Now all of a sudden, you have other nations of people who are injecting their behind to
Exactly.
be just like the sisters that they were
Exactly, just
ridiculing.
like the tan
It don't
embeddedness,
make no sense to me.
all that stuff, all that stuff. I'll admit, even myself, when I was about, because like I said, the majority of my race is Irish, and I am an eighth Cherokee, but the majority of my race is Irish, so I have very pale skin, freckles and pale skin, and I always, hated my skin. You know what I'm saying? I was used to be, and I've learned as now I've gotten older to just embrace it. This is who I am, and you just got to embrace it, because you can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it'll tear you up. Like, I would go when I was like 17, 18, I would go to the tanning bed, and I think I did it like 2 or 3 times, and I burned so bad. And I probably did permanent damage to my skin just from doing it those 2 or 3 times. And yeah, I would get the tan and I would love it. And I'd be like, oh my God, I look so good tan, blah, blah. But it's like, no, God did not make me that color. This is the color that God made me. He made me this color for a reason, and honestly, you know what I'm saying? This could be, I believe, like, I'm pale for a reason. Like what my knowledge and what I speak about and what I want to get out to people, coming from somebody so white and so pale, people, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I said God makes everybody for a reason, and you have to just learn, like, the way you are made, that's how God made you. Not that I have, people get surgeries, people do whatever they want. I don't judge anybody for that. But at the end of the day, you just still have to love, who you are, and know that you were made this way for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I said, I would
Right.
never do
That's
that
right.
tan in bed shit, because skin cancer, I could have killed myself doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, skin cancer, and I
Right.
don't think it's that prevalent in the Black community, but in the white community, skin cancer is very, very prevalent. Going out in the sun, getting sunburns, not wearing sunscreen, because we don't have that protection. We don't have that melanin to protect ourselves. So it's
Right.
like,
That's right.
you just got to be really careful. You got to wear sunscreen. Like I had to learn that, because for so long I wanted to have, like that tan, like that color, but that's just not the way I was made. And I had to just accept that, because I'm not going to put my health and myself at risk just because I want to look a certain way. You know what I mean? And what I learned is that people are going to love you for who you are and love the way you look, for regardless. There's always going to be somebody out there that's going to love, however you look, even if you know what I'm saying. And so I had to learn that. But as far as going off of what you said about, like, what I would call culture appropriation, there's this young rapper girl, whatever, the Dr. Phil chick. I don't know if you've heard of her or not. Her name is Bad Baby or something like that. She was originally,
Yeah, bad baby, bad baby.
yeah, she was originally on Dr. Phil, just a out really rebellious bad kid, and ended up, getting internet fame from her little slogan, "Catch me outside, how about that?" or something like that, and then turned it into like a whole, rap career. And let me tell you, Peanut, I hate her, like, with a passion. Like, I cannot stand her. And the main reason being is because I feel like she makes people like me, like white women like me, she makes me look horrible. You know what I'm saying? Because what she's doing, she knows exactly what
Right.
she's doing, but she's playing dumb like she doesn't. But what she's doing is trying to take everything from the Black woman, trying to turn herself into the Black woman, with the surgeries, with the the make the coloring of her skin, the surgeries, everything, the way she speaks, the culture. She's doing it on purpose, and she knows the formula. That's her formula to getting her money. But then when she's called out on it, she turns around and says, "Why would I want to be black? I don't want to be black." Like, did it, you know what I'm saying? And trying to play stupid to it, and then showing her true color that she doesn't like black people. She doesn't like black women. She may like, black, what, but she does not have any respect
Right.
for the black woman. But she wants to be the black woman without actually having to go through the struggle of what the black woman goes through, and not showing any type of respect for the black woman while she's doing that. And that's why I get so upset with her, because I feel like, first of all, like, you shouldn't even be appropriating off of this culture in the first place. But at least if you're gonna do it, at least like you have, like, like how Eminem was. And now I will say I didn't know about this till recently when that song resurfaced from, a long time ago. He did have like a song that I did not fuck with. But besides that, one thing I can say about Eminem is he always respected the black community, and he always kind of like made fun of
Yes, to my
himself.
knowledge.
And you know what I mean? He always kind of like made fun of himself,
That's right.
and didn't actually, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, try to be something that he wasn't. Like, he stayed in his lane. He stayed true to
He
himself.
stayed. He stayed. He stayed. He knew. He stayed. He knew he was a white boy. He stayed as a white boy, and it's not this. Stay in your own skin or love who you are. Doesn't matter with that.
Exactly.
And I think that's what people are trying. People are doing too much. They're doing too
Exactly.
much to be accepted. They
Exactly.
are doing too much to be accepted. You came here, I came here as who we are. Everybody has something special in them in their own way. The Most High gave everybody a gift. Everybody has a gift. So you have to
That's right.
utilize and find your gift.
That's
That's the
right.
problem now. People don't want to learn deeper down inside who they are. They want to steal other people's vibe. And
Right.
and that doesn't make you special. That does not make you special when you're trying to imitate.
Exactly.
What makes you
Imitation.
special is when you can create and be creative on your own and do your own thing. That makes you
Exactly.
special.
Facts, 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 facts. And I think a lot of these people have identity issues. You know what I mean? I think, especially with like a bad baby, like, I feel like she has an identity issue because she doesn't know, like you said, her
Identity
place and
crisis.
who she is.
Identity crisis.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
It's called identity crisis.
she doesn't know who she really is. I don't think she has to find in her, what is special about her. Who, like, instead of trying so hard to imitate what she thinks, everybody else want. And a lot of these entertainers have this issue, but I think especially with her and what
It
she's
ain't
doing,
it,
like,
it ain't just the entertainers. It's people even in the conscious community where you got people, and I ain't gonna call their name because I ain't giving them no show on this show. You got some of them that will talk bad about black women. I mean, spit up on their own women, talk bad about their own black brother, and talk. I
exactly.
mean, and the people that follows this person are not the same people that looks like him. And the
Right.
sad part is they're getting jokes off of watching you destroy another black man. They're laughing
Exactly.
at you. You're laughing with a group of people who are making fun of you. Because guess
Exactly.
what? They don't find they're only supporting you. They're only supporting you because you are making fun of your own people. And I
Exactly.
said the same thing with this other guy. I can't think of this man. He's an older guy, and I mean he's a big Trump supporter, whatever he is. But he has a problem with black people. And like I said, just like they said, they got some people don't like themselves. They have a trust issue, and
Right.
they have a dislike for themselves. When they wake up, they scream. They scream. That's like with Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson had some of the beautiful skin as a young man, but he chose to want to keep bleaching himself. He
Right.
never thought. He never looked at himself. People told him he was ugly, and he
And
believed
that's,
he was
yep.
ugly,
And that came from, I
and
believe
he
his
tried to make
parents.
himself something that he was not.
Exactly. And Michael
And
Jackson,
the first love that you get is from your parents. The first love you should get
exactly.
is from your parents.
Exactly. And I thank God every day that I had parents that really showed me what true love is, and really loved me so I could love myself and love who I am. But unfortunately, not everybody is as lucky. But even if that be the case, God, that is one of your challenges that God has put you here
What's up,
for.
people?
Is
What's up, tribe?
I'm
I
sorry.
see tribes in the house. No, I was giving
Oh,
a shout
okay.
out.
Yeah,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. But yeah, I feel like, the one of the biggest things is finding loving yourself, because how can you love anybody else until you are able to love yourself, and and I don't mean that in like a narcissistic or selfish type of way, but I mean like in a way as just knowing who, what your talents are, what your gifts are, who what type of heart you have, what type of person you are. You know what I'm saying? And appreciating that in you. So that way you can spread that to everyone else. But when don't
If you was talking, you were talking about your identity crisis. How would you
right.
like to feel when you go to school? When you go, yeah, that's Jesse Lee Peterson. Thank you. When you go to school, thank you, Mac J. Thank you. When you go to school and throughout school, then they brought from Black History Month, they bring groups and they force this upon us. And they tell us that we come from Africa, and they show that we were slaves. They've been telling us that we were slaves since we were little, since we come out the womb. They have been telling Black people
Right.
that they've been slaves. And they
Exactly.
don't have not a, they are not telling our truth that there were only
Exactly.
5%
Exactly.
of so-called African Americans that came here. So what happened to the others that was here already?
Exactly. And
That's identity. That's the thing that I tell people. I say, you know what? That's what angers me is that we as at birth was forced upon that we are something that we're not. Nobody took a test to know where none of us come from.
exactly.
They just gave you. They thought in 1980. Let me give you some fun facts. In 1980s, Jesse Jackson, when he was running for president of the United States, they passed a law that we proclaim ourselves as Africans. They used to call in the 70s and the 60s. They were calling us colors. They
Mm.
were calling us Negroes,
Yep.
and before Negroes, they were calling us indigenous. So they reclassified us. They reclassified us as African. Now,
Exactly.
granted, we was not told that we were African. They were not calling us African until Jesse Jackson was running for president of the United States. And I think this is what people don't understand, that we have a lot of people who don't know who they are. And because they don't know who they are, that's lack of love for themselves. At least you know your background. At least you know
Exactly.
where you come from. There's a lot of our people who don't know where they come from.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
this is the purpose of me trying to teach people and let them understand these things.
Yes, and what
That
you're doing is such
yes,
a
at one time we were
beautiful
all connected to Africa.
facts.
All continents at one time was connected to Africa.
And they don't like to
But
talk
I'm
about
talking
that.
about the fact that we were already here.
Exactly. And why is it so hard for them to talk about that? Why is it so hard for them to just speak the truth?
They
Like,
won't because they want you to. You can't be a continent and a country at the same time. You notice European when you say your name, you're either Caucasian or you're white. They don't say nothing about European Americans. They call us African Americans, but they don't call you European American.
facts. Why
Okay?
I always
So
wonder.
my whole my and you have to understand because what they're doing, and this there's been genocide against us for many years. And what people don't understand what they are doing, they are putting in the minds that we are an immigrant. In Hurricane Katrina, I remember that they were calling us refugees. How could you be called a refugee in your own
In your
country?
own
How could you
country.
be a refugee
That is
in your own
unbelievable.
country? You were born here. And to be honest with you, those who were born here, like you were born here, I was born here, to be honest with you, there's nobody in Timbuktu, Africa, can tell me that I cannot swab my mouth and go all the way back to Africa. You can't find the skull. You can't find my ancestors.
Facts.
Stop lying to these people.
Facts.
Stop lying to these people because they're making so many money. They're making millions and billions of dollars off of your DNA.
That's right.
They're swabbing you and you're not getting nothing out of it.
That's why I have.
You ain't come for no Wakanda.
Yep. That's why I never
Stop
did
lying
that.
to these people.
Yep. That's why I never did that DNA testing thing because I don't know what they're gonna do with my DNA. I don't want them having my blood. I don't trust the government. You know what
You
I'm
don't
saying?
know. You don't know what they're doing.
I don't, like donating organs, donating blood, all that. I don't do none of that stuff because the same people that want you to donate your blood and donate your organs and want you to take these DNA tests are the same satanic people that are harvesting organs, that are drinking babies' blood, that are doing all
They've been doing it for years. Let me tell you something. The people in China that were taking these people, they were to depopulate the community. They were because they were overcrowded in China. They would take these people organs. They will kill these people off. That's I tell black people all the time. I say, look, my people, we have to understand that every time we kill ourselves, that they are getting your organs. Every time your son or your daughter gets shot, they're taking their heart, they're taking their livers.
That's
You
right.
are nothing but a science project. You're
Exactly.
nothing but a science project until you wake up. They're
Exactly.
damaging your liver. That's why I tell people, go get you some black seed oil. Go get you some black seed oil. Go back to what the natives have taught us how to make medicine and stop. Because let
Holistically.
me tell you something, I've been on blood pressure for a long time, and I'm trying to get away from blood pressure medicine because I think that in the long run it's going to destroy my kidneys. This is
Yes.
what they do. They
Yes.
put you on medicine for years and years and years, and then it destroys the kidneys. Then they put you on dialysis, and then they take other parts from you. When you look at the coronavirus, and I tell people this all the time, the coronavirus has when they post the numbers of black people that is dying, they're posting people that's already sick. These people have
Exactly.
high blood pressure, that's diabetes. You have to understand that black people have been eating bad throughout the history. Black people has been eating the scraps of what a
Right.
slave master has been giving them.
That's
Yeah,
right.
where you think gumbo come from? Gumbo was the last part of the dish. You got the cheap part.
Yep.
Where you think we was eating chitlins and shit?
And the
Chitlins.
amazing thing, though, the
You know it's
amazing,
pigs intestines. But we wondering why we got high blood pressure. We wonder why we got diabetes. We wonder why we obese.
and I'm
We're
not gonna
dying
lie,
from other things that has been killing us.
I'm not the healthiest food eater either. I love to cook, and I cook everything. Like I'm cooking.
You
I
got to
got
grow
some
on the
neck bones.
vegetables.
I got neck bones on the slow cooker right now. You know what I'm saying?
Wow,
So
Keita said.
I,
Hey, Keita
I,
said my cousin been missing since 1999, never been found to this day. Oh my
oh
God.
my God, Kitty, I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
I'm so sorry, Kitty.
Damn. Since
That is
1999.
unbelievable. Never been found. Never.
Woo!
And these things,
You
it's
wonder where all these children on a doggone milk box.
you know where you know what I'm saying, and I don't want to get too deep because Kitty, that's like my sister, and I don't want her to feel that pain right now. You know what I'm saying? But this organ harvesting, trafficking, man, this stuff is real. And it's all coming to the light. I mean, I know you heard about World did expose all of this when he showed all the indictments and all this stuff that's coming
Yes,
out.
he had an excellent World News had an excellent expose. That was so excellent, that video, and that's why I tell you he has a talent. That's what
Yes,
I love about the brother. The brother is so talented, and I told him, I said, you're gonna have your own show one day. You keep it up,
that's
somebody's
right.
gonna really you've been blessed, my brother. You've
That's
been
right.
blessed with so much talent. Everybody not gonna like you. Let me tell y'all something, and I want y'all to know this. I have got on YouTube not for the views. I got on YouTube to spread the world about to spread to my people about identity crisis. I didn't come here for the views. I don't care to make no money. I'm here to do what the Lord's will is. Okay? The Most High's will. I don't care about not having all the followers.
Right.
As long as I stay the way I am, I don't care for all the drama. As long as I be me and don't be somebody else. When you do, and this is something I want to tell all you guys when you're building the channel. Be who you are.
I need to
Don't
hear
imitate
this.
anybody.
I need to hear
Don't
this.
imitate anybody. Be who you are. Because who you are is special.
That's
You
right.
can do a lot of things when you try to imitate somebody else, you will never be the same as anybody else.
That's
You
right.
got to do it in your way, in the best way that you know how to do it.
That's
The
right.
Most High has blessed us all with talents, and like I said, I everybody who I follow, it's my privilege, a privilege that I'm able to follow such great people. It's a privilege for me to even be on here talking to you guys, for you guys to take the time to listen to me. I
Facts.
appreciate you.
And for you to
Okay, now I'm
even
done with that. That was enough of my rant.
no, but what you just said, I really needed to hear that, and for you to even have contacted me, because like I told you, when I first heard you on Danny's panel, I knew that's why I always shouted you out when I would see you on World's Lives, because I knew we was on the same level with things, you know. And I had never listened, I'd never seen your channel before, but I'm so glad that the Most High put you in alignment with me, because that's how he works, like with the people that come into my life. And what you just said about this YouTube thing, I really needed to hear that, because I don't know if you checked my channel out before, and everybody, y'all can see what my name is on here, Exclusive Celeb Media. Now, when I made this channel, I've had this YouTube channel for a
I will
long,
be
long time.
checking it out. Trust me.
But let me tell you something. When I've had this channel for years and years, but I actually had started posting videos about a year and a half ago. And I only did it for about 2-3 months. My whole intent on what I wanted to do, and I'm just gonna be 100% honest with you. Originally, what I wanted to do was I wanted to build my following up real quick. But what I really wanted to do was expose celebrities and do my own commentary on them. Like, you know, so what I was doing was I would catch stuff like on Instagram before it would get to YouTube, and then I would screen record it and then put it on YouTube. And, you know, either like at first I wouldn't even do any commentary, I would just post the video, and then I started doing a little bit of commentary, but only like maybe two. I don't have a lot of videos on there, but maybe like two of them I really, you know, I like, because, you know, I like to just talk about, give my opinion on these celebrities and how I feel about different things, right? But I stopped doing it after about 2-3 months, because I lost myself, because I realized this is not me. I'm not, I don't want, I do like I said, I do like to do commentary, and I do like to, you know, talk about things that I think are important, especially when it comes to these entertainers exposing and giving commentary. But what I did, the reason why I stopped doing videos, because the lane I was getting in is not, that's not me. Like getting caught up with all this celebrity stuff and gossip, and you know what I'm saying? That, I'm not gonna lie, that's one of my weaknesses. I do like celebrity entertainment and celebrity gossip, but at the end of the day, that's not why I'm here. That's not why the Most High, I think, gave me the knowledge that He gave me. Is not to be gossiping about celebrities. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I'm doing commentary, giving my
That's
honest
right. That's right.
opinion about, you know, something that I
I
believe
think you could do a
is
good job, though. I think you could do a good job. I don't give up on something.
right, and that's what I've, you know, I've talked to World about it. You know, I've been on
I
the
think that you
panel.
can do a good job at it.
Just, I want to, the reason why I've stopped doing videos, and I am going to get back to it, but I really want to find my lane for it, and I don't want to get caught up in the bullshit, in the gossip, in the, you know, oh, this, that, and they're like what I was starting
That's
to get
right. That's
caught up
right.
in, which is why I stopped. Because I was getting, if you go on my channel, a couple of my videos have gone viral. One of my videos has got over 320,000 views, you know, a couple of them. But like I said, the only reason why is because I was exposing celebrities, you know, and bringing it to YouTube, being like the first person to find it, and then bringing it to YouTube first. So my video in the algorithm would get picked up first because I was the first one to find stuff. But like I said, that's not the lane that I want to get caught up in. You know what I mean? I don't want to get caught up in the gossip, in the, you know, exposing. I don't mind exposing as long as I'm doing my own commentary on why I'm doing this exposure. Like, and my, you know what I'm saying? Like if I'm speaking on real things and knowledge, that's more the lane. And that's why I, like I said, I've stopped doing videos, but I am going to get back on it. But I'm just trying, this is why I keep talking about it recently, because I'm trying to figure out first, before I start, you know, coming out with videos, exactly my specific lane on how I want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because I know the Most High put me here, you know, gave me this knowledge, introduced me to these different types of people with this knowledge, for a reason. And I'm supposed to get that out there. And I can't do that by just getting caught up in the bullshit with the, even though it's easy views and it's, like I said, I haven't posted a video in over a year, and I've only posted a few videos, but I'm already at almost 1,000 subscribers. You know, so it's easy, like you said, you're not worried about the views and the subscribers. It's about the message. And that's what I'm trying to, what I want to get back to when I get back on YouTube and get back to posting videos, about getting the message across, getting the knowledge, getting what I think my true calling is. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right. And that's what and what I tell people. The person said I'm not prejudged or nothing like that. I just I like to read everybody. Rather, I'm not prejudging, not prejudging. I just think that we are losing too many of our own men to other race of people. I do know the reason, but you can't be white and rep the culture at the same time. Okay. Do your diligence and find out who you are and you want to be versus who you need to be. I like that statement. That was a good statement.
Yes,
We have to understand that in our culture, we have to understand in our culture that black people are being murdered on a consistent rate. We have been dying for a very long time, and people do not take us serious.
that's
People
right.
have not been taking us serious. They don't care when a black baby is dying. They don't care when a black mother is weeping over guns. People just murdering our children, and we have to be open-minded to the fact that once white people and other nations of people can understand what our pain is. They'll never understand. But
That's
when we
right.
can get
I'll
a
never.
dialogue and
That's right.
understand that, you know, they'll never understand.
That's
And
right.
that's the
I'll
thing that
never
we have to
understand
understand.
that pain.
A lot, a
I'll
lot of
never.
people they'll never understand what it's like. I used to live in New Orleans. How you doing, Melvin Brown? I was living in New Orleans East when I had my first son. And you know, my wife and I, we were sleeping, and next thing you know, I can hear, and this was years ago. This is over 20-something years ago, and we were sleeping, and we hear gunshots, and you know, a brother died right underneath us. You know what I'm saying? So that's the kind of lifestyle
Wow.
that I come from, and
Yeah.
I have to make a better choice to move my children for the better of my kids. I have to move them, and I had to make money and do better. And this is what we have to do. We have to do better. We have to do better. And we have to understand, as a nation of people, we are killing our own people through, through drugs, through jealousy, through all kinds of things. We can do better.
It's
I
very
know, right? I'm about to leave for this time. You have a nice one, Carpenter. You have a nice one. And I just want you to know that we're gonna have to build together all to have some understanding. Melvin, you can come on the panel if you would like. This is an
yeah.
open panel. You can come on the panel.
And I
And I would
appreciate
love for you to
that.
come on, Melvin, because I know you had a rough night the other night. I would
And
love for Melvin to come on.
and Shay Carpenter,
Because
I
Melvin
really,
was
really
having a good
appreciate.
time the other night.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Melvin's
My brother
beautiful
Melvin was
children.
having a good time.
Yes. And I want to say real quick before Shay Carpenter leaves, thank you so much for those words. Shay, I really, really, you are so right about that. You know, I just gotta focus on, you know what I'm saying, finding my lane and my beautiful children and making sure that they come up, because I am a white woman and I have to do my part to make sure that my children, as being mixed children, that's a very, very, very when I
And that's
decided
yes. That's very
that,
important to know.
because my children, they have to, and I have to, as a white woman, not a part of the Black community. My children have to understand their roots and their culture, and their families who are in New Orleans, Louisiana, and Mississippi. I always bring my children around their families, because, and their Black side of the families, because that's something that I cannot, just give them from my side of the family, is their Black roots. So I have to make sure that I do everything that I can to have them exposed to edge, so they're not missing out on anything, and so they don't have any type of identity issues when they come up. You know what I'm saying? And that's a very important thing, and a
And
lot
here's
of, you know
in
what
the
I'm saying?
house. Pat in the
Exactly.
house.
Yes, but that's
Oh,
that's very
the beam team be coming out strong, man. I got the beam team be coming out strong. And I
yes,
tell you,
we're family,
there's no
man.
group like the beam team. There's no
We're
group like the
family.
beam team. Peace and blessings. I
Yes,
tell
to
you this,
peace and blessings,
but
man.
I have heard I had a great. This has been great. I wish more people would come on the panel and talk today. I wish Keity, if
Drop
you
the
want to
link.
come on, Pat, if
You
you want
good.
to come on, that we got an open panel. This is
Drop the
Sunday,
link.
y'all. This is an open panel. So for those who want to come on, we're gonna drop the link one more time. Give me 1 second.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a beautiful, beautiful Sunday. I knew this Sunday was going to be so beautiful. I woke up today just feeling just so, so blessed. And I looked outside at the sun just beaming in. Y'all know I'm a night owl, so I be
See
sleeping
if we
in
can
my
get on.
sun, my sun beam.
Max, if you want to come on in, Max, come on in, Max. We're about to
Most
drop the link in a few
definitely.
seconds.
And I just feel all the positivity, man.
Did
I
it, bro?
feel it. I
All right, the
feel it.
link is dropped.
I
Whatever
feel
you
it.
guys want to run, or anything that you guys want to say, come on.
Yeah,
Come
come
on
on
and join
through.
the panel. And any questions that you have for exclusive, anything that you have, just come on. This has been a great morning, and we have been building for a very long time. So
Yes.
let's see if we can get some more people that's not afraid to come on the panel.
Oh
Come
yeah.
on now. Let's see
Yeah,
some of them beam teams. Let's see if we can get some of these beam teamers in here.
definitely.
Come on, Melvin. Somebody got to represent.
You know, and
Somebody
like
got to represent. Come on. Somebody got to represent. Come on now. Come on, beam team.
you
I'm with my kids right now. I'm listening. I'm here, family. What about you, Max? Come on in, Max. In the lab, Chief. I'm enjoying the show.
that's
That's
what's
all
up.
right. That's all right. At least they're responding and they're listening to the show. And like I told people, I said, I'm always come. You know, I come at it raw. I always tell you to be who you are. Don't worry about what others think of you. I learned a lot from listening to World. World just keep doing his thing.
Yes,
When World is on his panel, he don't care if somebody hate him, like him, dislike. World still be doing his thing. That's what I love
that's
about
right.
World News. You know what I'm saying? And he got, you know,
Yes,
I've been following him with Kamika Jenkins. Um, you know, that's why I call him the best news because, you know, his work speaks for itself. If you want to get in these
yes,
YouTube streets, you gotta have some kind of content,
that's right.
and you
That's
got to be
right.
putting yourself to work.
That's right.
You can't
You
just be
know,
sitting up here expecting people to want to listen to you and you ain't putting in work.
that's right.
And I just don't want to be every time I put, you know, for me to get views, I got to get a whole stack of drama in here to get views. I don't want them kind of views. Somebody can't follow me and be a part of me, a part of my channel just for me. I'm cool
That's
with that. You know what I'm saying? If you can't,
you
if
don't
you know what I'm
want
saying, if
them.
you just want me to be on here talking about drama, well then you know
Right.
it is what it is. I don't want them
And
kind. I love the small group. It doesn't matter. We can have 8.
that's right. And you know, it's crazy you say
But we
that
got a
because
great family and we're doing good. And
yes, and it's crazy that
huh?
you said that because World actually had said that one time, the same exact thing. Because we was talking about one time on the panel, like about when we was having like the because you know World, I like to call him Dr. World sometimes because the way how he was able to just counsel and
That's
bring,
right.
you know, Mediva and diet and that whole, I never thought that beef would die, but you know, he spent
That was so
hours.
beautiful. That was beautiful.
It was so beautiful, you know, and I had said something, you know, later on.
For him to allow me to bring him in food feedback together, that was so beautiful.
Yes,
It
it
was
was a
so
beautiful thing.
it started with that, and for him to allow that, and I'm all about unity. I just spoke to Chata Chief this yesterday. I was building with her, and yesterday she told me that she wants to inbox World and let her know that somebody had hacked her account and was putting out bad things on her about she want to make amends with him also. So
Oh,
she
that's
said there were some
beautiful.
bad things that somebody hacked, and she realized that they were out there lying on her. So you
That's
know,
a
and
beautiful thing.
I have been meaning to let him know that.
Yes,
And
definitely.
so if we coming together, that's a great thing,
Yes, that's what we want, man.
you know,
And you
because I
know,
really believe the nature boy divided the conscious community. You know what I'm saying? He
but
did his
World,
job. He divided
but really what he
everybody. You know,
did was bring people together without even meaning to. You know what I'm saying? Like how Mac J say, looking at the glass
right,
half full.
right.
He brought so many people together. You know what I'm saying? World, you know, like and you know, other channels, but you know, I'm a beamer, so I'm gonna speak for
Man,
us.
he
Like
went days and days with that, man. I don't know how he got Medivh and them to get back together, but he did it.
that just shows how
And
much
he went
heart he
days and
has.
days and days.
Yes. And he's relentless
That's just
because he's passionate.
that's unity. And
Yes,
I
and
just
that
love that.
shows that's the type of people that we need. You know, people like World that can just stand up and will put everything he has into it. And no matter how many hours upon days, he's gonna do it. You know, and he didn't benefit off of it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like he was getting paid, you know, whatever, nothing. He didn't benefit off of any of that. He did that out of the kindness of his heart because he's about unity. You know, don't get it twisted. You know, like if you mess with the Beam team or you know what I'm saying, like we're gonna stand up. You know what I'm saying? Because we're a strong family. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? What World did was bring
That's
unity
right.
together. You know what I'm saying? And that's what
I
it's
tell you, I
about.
tell you this, as I as I'm about to one more thing I wanted to tell you as I'm about to close the exclusive, but I wanted to tell you it's been my privilege. I am very thankful that you allowed me to interview you today, and it's you know, I think this bill was beautiful. The fact that you know that you came on and allowed me to. I hope I didn't put you into the frying pan and put you in the hot seat
No,
too much. But
absolutely not.
this is yeah. I appreciate this so much because I think that we are what we're doing, and we're gonna do this again. I don't want you to be no stranger now.
Absolutely.
Even if I got a couple of yours, we're
Oh,
gonna do this again.
absolutely.
You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? Because we're getting to the stage where we're building, and we're gonna and our platforms are like I said. I'm looking for unity. And for those inbox me if you guys want the next interview. I yesterday was Chata Cheetahs. Next week it will be somebody else. This week it was we got a chance to meet Xclusive. We got a chance to hear behind the Beam team. Because I'm really gonna interview a lot of the Beam team members, and I'm gonna interview a lot of everybody. To be honest with you, so I want to know, what you're thinking, what's behind all this. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I'm
and
so thankful for all y'all. Peace and blessings. And I'm gonna let you have the final say. And we're gonna walk this thing out.
that, yes. Yes, and I just want to say, I thank you so much for, the build we had the other night, and I knew from that build because, like I said, I feel like as a white European woman, I have to do my part, and this is why I'm here. I need to do my part, to take advantage of this bullshit white privilege bullshit that's out there, and I'm gonna take advantage of that, and I'm gonna flip the script, and I'm gonna use every bullshit power that you know what I'm saying, that the elites have given, and I'm gonna flip the script on them, and I'm gonna speak up. You know what I'm saying? Any chance I get, I want to speak up and fight for, every black person in this fucked up ass world that is going through what they're going through, because it's my duty, and I feel like it should be every white person's duty that has the knowledge and knows the truth to do that. So me, the most high blessing me with the knowledge that I have, I feel like it's my duty to speak out on that and to speak for what's right and the truth. And any opportunity that I get to do that, I will do that. And I just appreciate you giving me that opportunity to come on this panel and speak my truth.
But I'll tell you this, I enjoyed it, and I want everybody to know that I want you to be safe out there because this coronavirus is not over. For those who have high blood pressure, for those who have diabetes, for those who have any other illness, be careful because they are the targets. The most victims are the people who are already sick. That's what I want you to understand. The corona this is just hurting your system because you're already sick. But we gotta. I encourage you guys to grow your own food, grow your own vegetables. Understand, I'm gonna show you guys a product right now. Hold on one second. I'll show you guys a product.
Okay.
Now this stuff right here, I'm gonna post this on here right quick. This stuff right here. Let me move this out the way so I can show you. Okay, this right here. If I can look into the camera, this is some good stuff for those who don't have it already. This is black seed oil. Okay, this stuff here. If you whatever corona, you ain't gonna get no coronavirus because if you keep taking this, you're gonna be good. Okay? Those, I'm telling you, this is real good stuff. Okay. And there's some other
What is it,
remedies,
Nina? I
and for
can't
those,
see it.
and I want you guys to start sharing. Oh, let me do this
Oh,
over
hang on.
again.
You know
Please
what?
let me
It's
know.
hang
Let
on.
me know because you guys
I
see.
think it's because I'm on the stream yard. When I go back after this is over, I'm gonna watch it on YouTube because I can't see it through YouTube. So I'm gonna check it out as
Okay,
soon as
this is
this is over.
this
Yeah.
the coded pressure. They All right, they definitely will. They will mail this to your house. Okay, I want you to understand. Over at Walmart, you can get it. There's available bottles at Walmart where you can be able to get these brands. We'll get you. Make sure you get your orange, lemon, honey, and ginger.
Oh,
Orange, lemon, and honey and ginger. You take that every morning. You want to boil it real hot, and you want to put garlic in it. Okay, mix it with garlic, and you drink that stuff every day. You ain't gonna get a cold or anything. Okay, so
thank you
you have to
so
drink
much
it
for
real
that.
hot, though. Okay, and this is this. So I want you guys to understand we have to start going back to herbals and start treating the body better. Okay, if you treat the body better, the body's going to treat you better. Okay. So thank you guys for coming on. And yesterday I had a couple of beers, so I'm sorry, y'all. I was a little bit when I did the interview yesterday. I felt like I was a little slurry.
Oh no, you're good.
First time I've been home, and and I had me a couple of buds. You know what I'm saying? But
Hey,
anyway, I was running around like Melvin.
okay, you know what? It's nothing wrong with
But
that. Every
anyway,
once in a
much
while,
love
you
to you.
gotta have you a good
Uh,
time. Feel yourself. But thank you again so much for having me on.
yeah, you're
This was
right.
such a great
I'm
bill.
battling home, so well, like I said, for those who want to share the video, please share. Um, also support. I want you guys to follow Exclusive. I want you guys to follow her channel. Please support her channel. What is your? Could you please tell me what is your cash app?
Oh, my cat. I'm sorry. Can you say that one more time? You was coming in and out.
Your cash app.
Oh, well, my Cash App is
Do you have
the letter K T love live life. Sorry, my son's in the background. Let me say it one more time. It's the letter K T love live life. That's my Cash App. And as far as my YouTube channel, this is my YouTube channel, Exclusive Celeb Media. If y'all want to subscribe, like I said, I haven't posted in a year, but I will. This is my word. I'm getting my notes together, my notebook, because I want to make sure the next video I come out with, it's going to be a whole new start, a whole new lane as to what my content's going to be on. And I feel like, if y'all like Peanut and the content he's putting out, and y'all like World, and we all kind of on that same frequency, I feel like y'all definitely gonna vibe with me too. So that's what I'm gonna do. And then Instagram
okay?
is the
Good.
same name, Exclusive
And
Celeb Media.
yeah, and please, I want you guys, if you follow me, please follow her content. And also, if you want to donate to me, Peanut Nola 504. That's just what it is. Okay, Peanut Nola 504 Cash App. It's the green one. Cash App Peanut Nola 504. But just if you want to support the channel,
Facts, and
like
I
I
got
said,
you on that.
we're gonna
I
put
got
in
you.
work. Yeah. If we want to put into work and we want to be better, we got to grow together, you guys. And we're gonna grow together. We're only stronger together than divide. Okay. All glory goes to the Most High. You guys have a nice one.
Amen. You too. Stay blessed and up, everybody.